Boulder County authorities announced on Friday that murder charges will not be filed against Dinell Lane for the attack on a Longmont woman because autopsy reports showed the fetus did not survive outside of the womb. Patty, this has been a difficult topic. We knew a little bit last week, and even as we talk this week, as we tape this on Friday at noon, some of the details, the charges from Boulder County and the autopsy report have not yet been released. So from what we know right now, what do you expect to be the ramifications that is coming from this evolving case?
Well, certainly this is the story that everyone is talking about, including Klingenschmidt, although most of them are speaking a little more coherently about it. I think given what we know about the autopsies so far, we will find that the baby was not alive outside the womb because Stan Garnett, the DA, has done the only charge you can really do under state statute, that she could not be charged with murder. She's clearly one very disturbed woman, but I will tell you there are other disturbed people out there now because there are already people out there who are deniers, who say this whole story is a hoax, that it didn't happen, and that we're making it up.
Wow. David, I mean, Patty brings up, I think, some of probably a variety of examples of people who are going to take the story and run with it in whatever capacity. There's going to be political sides of things, there's going to be societal sides of things, but it certainly doesn't end here. What do you think is going to be the next policy side that we're going to see come out of the case?
Well, I think most people would say that what the person who's going to be charged did, presuming that the facts as reported in the media are correct, is a homicide and ought to be prosecuted in the same way as the homicide of a 3-month-old baby or a 3-year-old or a 33-year-old. And state law doesn't currently allow that, so state law ought to be changed. There have been efforts to make those changes in the past. They have been successfully thwarted by the pro-choice lobby, worried that would endanger abortion. But however that gets sorted out, I think we've got to get to the point where the act that happened is a homicide and can be prosecuted the same as any other intentional killing of a human being.
Ed, what's been the reaction on Capitol Hill? Do you think there's somebody who wants to carry the water on a bill that would be that seemingly razor-thin line between what this act was, which was clearly not abortion, and abortion rights, which there's just such a razor-thin line there? Is there somebody at the Capitol that wants to make this a reality, change Colorado law?
Is there somebody at the Capitol that wants to do something nuanced and for the better of society? Good luck on that one. No, I mean, that's cynical, but I mean, it's cynical because of the way this debate has evolved in the last couple of years, and that they have, both Republicans and Democrats have gone at this in different ways and not been able to find any favor on either side, because this stopped being debate about protecting human life, which is what clearly the state law is not doing right now, and it started being more of a debate about abortion politics. I mean, here's the thing that's nuts looking at this. And I'm going to give Stan Garnett the benefit of the doubt because A, I'm not an attorney, and B, I assume that he knows how to interpret the law. But if he's interpreting the law right, that says this fetus has to live outside the womb in order to be considered a human and have murder charges brought against it, then let's consider this scenario. Someone could walk up to a pregnant woman with a gun, shoot her directly into her unborn baby, and that would not be considered murder because that kid's not making it out of the womb. However, it's clearly an act of intentional assault and homicide on a living being. So, I mean, that's going to be the tough part. How do you draw that line there? How do you walk down without the too many factions who are just going to spout about this in 30-second political sound bites? Clearly something can be done, something should be done, and frankly, if there can be someone who arises to do this, they're going to deserve bipartisan respect for this.
Susan, do you think that person exists? Will this effort come, whether it's from Capitol Hill or from somebody else, an organization, somebody that wants to walk that thin line that obviously, as Ed talked about, is wrought with difficulties on either side of the aisle?
I'm sure people will make a whole lot of hay about it. The fact that this incident is a sort of segue into a conversation about personhood is sort of ridiculous. And you want to talk about cynical, that's really cynical. I mean, this woman was attacked. You know, people kind of forget the mother was really assaulted. in a way that, you know, those urban myths about you're traveling in some unknown city and someone comes into your hotel room and steals your kidneys kind of thing. I mean, it has that element to it. And, you know, there are plenty of charges to use against this woman, Lane, if in fact she is guilty of what they say she's guilty of. And I also have to say, Stan Garnett in his comments was fairly cryptic. I think we just don't know enough about this case to surmise. But it's way too early to be going down this kind of personhood thing. We just don't know enough. It's like people will use any excuse to discuss personhood, and I don't think this is the time.